So one of the species that we grow a lot here at Maya Mountain Research Farm is cacao, and cacao is very locally appropriate for us because it's from the area. It's a wonderful subcanopy species. It has good market value. It's got a lot of traditional uses as well. And our specialty here is that we only grow special cultivars that are locally appropriate. The one behind me is a locally open pollinated Criollo heavy cultivar that the Quechua Maya bought in from Guatemala when they migrated in around 1890 and crossed with the local Criollos. In other parts of the farm, we have a Criollo cultivar that we collected at the Maya ruins of Exush in Muclebal and Upper Bladen watershed in 1999, and that's got really high market value. So we're looking at crops that are locally appropriate, have good market access and good market value, that will function in land that's being repaired, like this area here. This was all former citrus, and going down towards the river there was all former cattle. And now we've basically repaired a lot of this. Basically all the trees that you can see from here weren't here in 1999, and now we're managing it that way. So cacao is a subcanopy species. So it needs shade. So you'll have your canopy species above it. Traditional canopy species include things like samwood or Cordialia d'or, guanacaste, which is Enterolobium cyclocarpum. Food species like avocado are also good. Ramon nut can be used in some density, the Brasphum malacastrum, but it's got fairly dense shade, so you have to put them far apart so that light gets underneath. In conjunction with that, you can have things like vanilla. We've got some vanilla growing right over there, and things like turmeric, and there's some turmeric over there, and ginger, which we have ginger over there. And also coffee. Right now is our flowering of coffee here at the farm, and the whole farm is redolent with the smell of beautiful coffee blossoms. And we have three species of coffee: the Coffea arabica, Coffea racemosa, and Coffea canephora. So, and those are also subcanopy species. And so what we're doing is, as we repair the landscape and we plant out our pioneer species, things like bananas and pineapples and pigeon pea, the Cajanus cajan, we're also planting out our long-term tree crops. And once our long-term tree crops reach a certain level, we've created the microclimate underneath it that's acceptable for things like cacao and coffee. Once you have a healthy canopy and you put cacao in, you start to see a high presence of birds. I'm not an ornithologist, but when we do have ornithologists studying here, working here, they say that we have very, very high level of bird diversity here, and part of it is because we've created habitat for them. Another thing that we're noticing is that vanilla, which is usually hand pollinated, we're spread too thin to hand pollinate all of our vanilla, and we're seeing fruiting on vanilla vines, and we think that the cacao pods, when you see a broken cacao pod that's pollinated or colonized by midges, pollinators of cacao, we think they're also the pollinators of vanilla, because we're getting fruits that we don't hand pollinate.